Okay, so tell me how you would know if the head restraint is correctly adjusted, please. So for this question, what we'll do is make sure that our eyes and top of our ears is roughly in the middle of the head restraint. Eyes, top of the ears, roughly in the middle of the head restraint. So tell me how you would know if the power steering is actually working. So for this one here now, so when the car is off, the steering is quite heavy, and when you start the car, the steering becomes loose. So that's how we know, because at this moment the steering is quite heavy, but when you turn the car on, the steering becomes loose. Alternatively, you can move forward, move the steering from side to side, and it should feel light. If it's too heavy, then it's not working. Okay, so tell me how you would switch from dipped to main beam in this car. So from dipped to main beam is we look for the light here, we then turn it, or make sure the car is on, by the way. You don't have to turn it on because it's a tell me question. So you then turn it all the way to the dipped headlight, and from then you would then push this lever away. It's a little bit hard to see this lever here. Let me just move the steering out the way. There you go. So you then push this lever away, and then you can see the blue light comes on there. That blue light there, that's your main beam. So push the lever away after you put it onto the dipped light, and then the main beam comes on. Okay, can you tell me how you would put your rear fog light on and when would you use it, please? Okay, so for the rear fog light is to turn the lever all the way to the right to the dipped headlight and pull out twice, and then you can see that light. So if I push back in, you can see the light goes just there. So I pull out, push back in, you can see the light goes. And then we would use it when visibility is reduced to less than 100 meters. So that's how we would do the rear fog light. Okay, tell me how you would know that your indicator light's actually working, please. So for the indicator light, I will press the hazard warning light, and then you see my indicator flashing, and I will just walk around the car and check. So I press the hazard light and then walk around the car and then check. So can you tell me how you would know that your foot brake is working, please? Okay, for this one, what I'll do, I'll press onto the foot brake, and it should feel firm, not too slack, not too spongy. The other way I can do it is I can move the car off slowly, press onto the foot brake, and this car should come to a stop without pulling to either side. If it pulls to one side or the other, it means that the brake is not working. Can you tell me how you would know that your brake lights are actually working, please? Okay, yeah, for this one, I'll press the brake and ask someone to go and check for me. So I press the brake and ask someone to go check for me. How would you know if your tire is in good working order, safe and legal to be on the road? So for the tires, what we're looking for is to make sure that there's no cuts, no bulges on the tire, of a visual inspection, and make sure that it should have a minimum thread depth of at least 1.6 millimeter, which you can see this one's got quite a lot of thread. So minimum thread of at least 1.6 millimeter across 3/4 of the breadth of the tire. So basically from here over towards there, that's what it's saying. Where would you find the recommended pressure for the tire? The recommended pressure is in manual, so the book that comes with the car. Okay, brilliant. What would you use to check the pressure of the tire? A pressure gauge. So use a pressure gauge to check the pressure of the tire. Okay, that's actually the tell me questions. But there's another tell me question, which in this car they won't necessarily ask you, but it's important for you to know if the car's got a physical handbrake, like a manual handbrake. This one's got an electric handbrake. So the question that they will ask is, how would you secure the car using the handbrake and to know that it's secure? So what you tell them is you will lift the handbrake up as far as it will go, so basically to the end of its working travel, and then let go. So before doing that, you're pressing the foot brake, lift the handbrake up, come off the foot brake, and the car should hold. If the car doesn't hold, then the handbrake needs to be looked at.